How's it going, everybody? My name is John Bianchi. I'm the Airbnb data guy, and we are going to be going through the STR Facebook Homes for Sale group to be able to figure out how much the homes are actually going to make. And I'm going to do a really live analysis of this, and I'm going to kind of teach you my process as I'm doing it. We're going to be using my new software, which is called the Profit Maps. When this is first released, this video is first released. It is not going to be officially released, but it will be released very, very, very shortly. So please keep an eye out for that. There's probably a link down below that you can sign up for the wait list. But with that being said, again, we're going to be going through this this Facebook group, which has 94,000 members in it. So I'm sure a ton of you know about this group. Facebook will not let me zoom my video. That's why it's hidden there. But we're going to go through this Facebook group and figure out the annual revenue. Now, you might be asking yourself, if you don't know me, why am I qualified to be able to do this? Well, I'm head of data for TechFester being one of the largest short-term rental investment funds in America. And it's my job to be able to figure out exactly how much those homes are going to make before we purchase them. We've bought over 100 homes by now, and we have homes that have been up and running for, in this case, some have been around for 532 days. But every single, this row here shows you how long all these properties have been around for. And so we have actual data of how closely I predicted how much a property was going to make, right? And that's what this row, this column here, column M, is showing you how close my prediction is to the actual revenue of that property. As you can see, I'm consistently under predicting, which is great. That's exactly where I want to be. I want to under predict, because if we can buy the property when it's hitting 100,000, but it makes 125,000, that's great, right? And on average, what you can see here is that on average, I am under predicting by 25%. That means that I say the home is going to make $100,000 a year, but in reality, it makes $125,000 a year. And that's perfect. Okay. That's exactly where you want to be. You want to play it safe with your prediction, but try your best to overdo it and do even better than what you think you can do. And you're probably looking at all these numbers right here and saying, oh, it looks like you got all those ones wrong. Well, those ones have actually only been around for maybe a month, 2, max 3. And they haven't had enough time to actually ramp up to get the true revenue numbers, because when a property first launches, it doesn't do as well in that first and second and third month as it does in the following months. Okay. So anyways, what I'm using this is simply just to prove to you that what I'm going to be doing right now, I know how to do, and I'm really good at it. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just simply saying that because it works. And I want you to use the systems and the processes that I'm teaching you to be able to go out there and do it yourself. It is my mission to ensure that nobody buys an unprofitable Airbnb ever again. And the reason I say that is because so many people out there have bought an unprofitable Airbnb and they don't talk about it. But it happens. It's okay. You're learning. Watch this video. You're learning a little bit more. But let's get into this Facebook group and actually try and find some properties in here that might be profitable, and at the same time debunk some people who might have been over predicting how much their property could actually make. Okay, so I'm gonna cherry pick a little bit just to homes that I think that would be more relatable. So this one right here, I have taken a quick look at it, and I don't know McCall, Idaho whatsoever. Well, let's get into it. So let's take a quick look. I wonder if we can find the actual address for this property. Maybe there's more information here. Again, this is going to be a very raw and live video of me actually going through this and trying to figure out the revenue potential of this property. So if it feels like I'm all over the place, if it feels like I'm stumbling on my words, that's normal, because I'm trying to figure this out as I'm going. So we have the address right here. All right, so that's perfect. We need that. I'm going to pop that over here. I know that we're looking at McCall. I'm using AirDNA's mapping tool just to be able to see where this location is and get a feel for it. So I can see it's right there. Now that I know that it's not a major city and there's nothing around it, I'm going to grab a profit map for that area. So what I'm seeing is that McCall seems to be this little, I don't know. I don't really know what it is, to be honest. It seems like it's in the middle of nowhere for the most part, but it's around a lake. And I know that the data for around here is going to be different than the data over here, because I can tell that everybody's really coming for this lake. That's why all the Airbnbs around the lake. Therefore, I only need the data for that area. In that time frame of me saying that, I was able to create a profit map with my new software. And now we have all the data for McCall. I hope I'm saying that right, McCall. And it's broken down by different bedroom counts. So for anyone who hasn't seen this before, what you're looking at is a profit map again for McCall. On the left-hand side, you have the zip code. Then we have the bedroom count. So a studio, a 1 bedroom, a 2 bedroom, so on and so forth. Where those two connect is the average annual revenue for an Airbnb in that area. So a studio within that zip code makes about $26,000 a year. And then this number right back here represents how many Airbnbs make up this average. So there's 11 studios in that zip code, and on average, they're making 26,000. This number is important because you want there to be a good amount of data so we can find a nice pattern. And so this home is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. So I come over here and double click the 2 bedrooms, and now I can see exactly how much all the 2 bedrooms are making in order from who's making the most to who's making the least. And we can see that there's some clear losers and some clear winners. And so there's a ton of data here that we need to vet and go through to confirm that it was actually good data and real data. Now, I'm not going to get too into cleaning the data in this video, simply because I want the ability to go through multiple homes here. But let's just, again, take a look. So we have the address. It's currently listed as a successful Airbnb and VRBO. Well, we're going to figure out how successful. And it's within the city limits and almost on half an acre. It's desirable subdivision, tucked away in the towering pines. Turnkey, ready to go. Okay, so they're asking about 665,000. And what else do we need to know here? Not much. Okay, so we have all that, and I'm sure we can find this property on Zillow. So that's where we're going to take a look at the actual photos and get a better feel for the property itself. Again, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,000 square feet. Seems fairly pricey, but the inside is well designed, so that's nice. It is definitely turnkey from what I can see here. I would even be okay with the way that this is all put together. I don't really know what additional you could do to this, but it seems fairly good to me if you ask me. There's nothing going on in the backyard. That might be some opportunity there. And on the deck, it didn't seem like there was too much going on there either. So some more opportunity. Then again, the deck, it's not tiny. So there's definitely room on that deck to do something. Okay. So, we got, sleeps 6 people. I'm sure we could find the Airbnb listing if we really wanted to. But for now, what we're going to do is just simply review the data. So we know what the home looks like, and we have all of the data for the other homes. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to open up these ones to show you that they're most likely not comparable properties. So what I'm going to be trying to do is find other properties within this area that are very, very, very similar to the property that we're looking at. Okay. So I want it to match up with this one as much as I possibly can. And then that's going to give me confidence about how much this property is actually going to make. And then we can try and figure out what the cash on cash will be for this property if we were to get it. Right. So first off, this is the one that's making the most money here, which is 88,000. We can already see right off the bat, it's a much larger home. It's a log cabin. I don't know this area whatsoever, so I have no idea what drives revenue, but I have this gut feeling that cabins might be something that people like. So that right there is nice. Again, we have another cabin. Again, I can tell this is going to be a bigger and nicer and obviously a cabin. And then this one seems to be in some sort of community that has an indoor pool, so that kind of gives it an advantage over that. We can see that there's another nice grouping here of $10,000 between 60,000 and 50,000. And so I'm actually going to open up all of these ones after I close out these ones, because those ones are not comparable for what I'm seeing at first glance. And so then we want to take a look at these ones. Never use Evolve data or Vacasa data. That will be removed out of the platform very shortly. But this does not look like it's real data whatsoever. And it's not. They haven't had a booking in a very long time. Just for anyone who doesn't understand good and bad data, I do have videos on my YouTube channel that you can go to watch that. And it's going to break it down in way more detail. With the profit map, we are removing the vast majority of bad data. You can see here we only have 209 listings that we're actually taking a look at in comparison to on AirDNA, it's showing 730 active rentals. So we have removed the vast majority of that bad data so that we can only be focusing once again on the good stuff. So that's bad data. That's Evolve data. This one seems fairly interesting, but it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, which is something. And, this is definitely a bigger living room, but the photos are not that great whatsoever. It's not it's not much better. So I'm intrigued by this, but it's a part of this HOA and has an indoor pool and community or an outdoor pool. So that doesn't help either. This one appears to be the same idea. It's definitely an apartment building, and it probably has those community amenities, even though it's not showing it off. I don't know if these would be considered comparable or not just yet. I have no idea about this place whatsoever. I can see again that this is going to be in another sort of building. This one seems closer to to that lake that's right down there. And then we run into another cabin. Now this is a 1-bath and we have a 1-bath as well. I would not call this a cabin. It definitely has cabin-esque features, but it's not a cabin. That's for sure. It's designed very like outdoorsy, that sort of theme and color. But again, we're looking at 1 bedroom here. anyways, and then so this is the last one that we have here, and this one's doing $49,000 a year. It is definitely more cabiny, but it's a small listing. It's not very well put together. It's got a dated kitchen. It's about the same size. Again, it's got that cabin advantage on us, but we have but it's not a very good listing. And so if you took this listing and made it look better, there's a chance that you could do roughly around that same amount. But then again, I'm not fully convinced as of just yet because there's a lot of other properties here. So let's close up all of these. That one that's 49, I'm going to leave open because it might have potential, but we're going to open another grouping within a $10,000 range. So we just opened up from 48 all the way down to 39. So that's another $10,000. Like I said, I'm always trying to find a pattern within the data. So I like to open up a grouping of data as I'm doing it. We've got another one that's 2-bedroom, 2-bath again. These aren't really good listings like whatsoever. So there is some sort of advantage or potential here that you could have by putting together a better listing than what most people see. This one is just absolutely terrible. I can almost guarantee that's bad data, so I don't need to go through it. And now we're starting to see these listings that are a bit nicer. Like this one's actually feels like a comparable property to what we're looking at, just simply because, again, it's a bad listing. It's a bit bigger, but it's a bad listing. And so they have an indoor pool community as well. I wonder if this one comes with all of those things. It might, because they mentioned something about being in a subdivision. So desirable Rio Vista subdivision. Does it talk about having any of the amenities that we can see here? Just need to go through this 1 second. Lake, public beaches, buses, closer ski route, public lands, no HOA. So it's not in an HOA, which means it will not have the pool access, right? Because HOAs is when you get that pool access, which is why it's obviously not being shown in the actual photos. And so, that's a good one right here. I wonder if this is an HOA. No, it's not, but it's in a building still. Okay, the reason I'm liking this one is simply because it's got a similar style, and I can already tell it's roughly the same size, if not smaller than our home. Even though it's in a townhouse, I feel like it's a comparable listing. If we took better photos, we could definitely do better than this one. And after going through enough of these, I'm deciding that this is going to be the one that I'm going to refer to as our best comp for this right now. And that one is going to be newly renovated. Let's go find that. It should say newly renovated, 46,000. So the reason I'm landing on this, again, just to clarify, is that I came across a couple up here that I felt like could be potential revenue, like they could potentially match. I think 49 was the closest. And then there was some that were kind of off as I was going through. But then as I see this one, I definitely know that we could design the home better than that one. Take photos better than that one, maybe even add some amenities in the backyard. And most of these listings are absolute trash. So my thought is that we could, at a minimum, where I feel confident, is around this $45,000. Now, remember, I usually underpredict by 25%, but if you're happy with it hitting this number, then you'll be really happy if it actually hits that number that's a little bit higher. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is just take a look at what the cash flow potential would be with this home if it were to hit that number. So the purchase price I'm going to add in here is $665,000. The reno budget and furniture budget is going to be I'm just going to put $5,000 just in case, because it's a turnkey place, right? So just in case, I'm going to add $5,000 in there, which is nice. We're going to have a 20% down at 7.5%. Then we're going to do our expenses here. So our expenses will be the repair and maintenance. Let's leave at 300. Internet's going to be 100. The water is probably going to be like 50. It's going to be next to nothing. The electricity, let's put it at, maybe 350. I don't know if that's exactly right, but it's, good to overestimate or underestimate as you're going through here. The interior maintenance. So this is going to be for like furniture and whatnot that we would want to fix. Again, we kind of already have some sort of maintenance repair here. So I'm going to take this one out. There's not going to be a pool. The outdoor landscaping, if somebody else is going to do it for us, we need to have that in there. Technology is going to be like all of your different softwares and whatnot. The cleaning is probably for a 2-bedroom. I do not know this area whatsoever, but let's say that it's 150 over 5. Let's do 6 turns a month. So that gives us about $900. And then supplies is going to be your amenities, such as soaps and shampoos and things along those lines. The taxes, let's see if we can figure that one out real quick. Let's get down here. We can see that the property taxes are $2,400, which is significantly lower than the last property that I was reviewing. So let's put that at $22,000. The insurance, don't know. I'm just going to put 150. And then capital expenditure. So this is going to be your reserves at 1% of the purchase price. And the property is going to make, let's say, 45,000. And so this home has the potential to lose $38,000 a year with a negative 25% cash on cash if you were to get it and turn it into an Airbnb. How exciting. And so that's this Airbnb that is currently for sale in that area for 665,000. Again, some things, variables here that might make this a good deal is, or change the deal, is if you can get a lower interest rate, if you can, I don't really know if you can maybe get the cleaning a little bit cheaper. If there's maybe some money you can save here. Let's say if your best case scenario was 55,000, you just crushed it. You're still only losing $28,000 a year, so a little bit better. But for the most part, I don't think I'd be moving forward with this property personally. So one down. Let's keep going and try and figure out if we can find another one or debunk another one or whatever we want to do as we continue to review all of this information. One thing I want to point out here is that this sheet here that proves my credibility of how accurate I am with predicting these revenues is available through my Instagram. So if you go to my Instagram, click on this link right here. It's going to bring you to my link tree. You can click this right here, which is going to give you the ability to download that sheet and review it. And at the same time, it's actually going to give you access to all my free training. So you can see here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different courses that are for free, with this one being the most useful, all around Airbnb data and helping you understand how to analyze Airbnb data to find profitable properties. And if you want more credibility on this actual sheet, you can also watch the second. If you click here, this is going to bring you to one of my latest YouTube videos with the CEO of TechFester and walking you through that actual sheet and breaking it down. Okay. So with that being said, let's move on to the next one. So far that one, I don't think I'd move forward with it personally if I was, wanting to make money and earn money. This one doesn't look very interesting. What do we have here? So North Georgia, do we have the actual address? That is definitely criteria to be able to make this happen. Let's take a look. I am interested. Let's see if we have any data before I officially decide to move forward with this one. So quick view again. This is what I'm doing right now on AirDNA is simply free version, being able to see their map, get a better feel for the data. We have 156 listings here. That is not a lot of data. And let's see if we pull this from Profit Maps, what will happen. So if we get because we're going to clean up all the data in here, and most of the data in AirDNA is, it's not bad data. It's just not useful data for me in the way that I do it. I need to make sure I clarify that. And about 80 to 90% of that usually is not useful. So let's see what happens here if I were to open this up. So we've got it. It's ready to go. We have 52 listings to go through, with 17 of them being 2 bedrooms. And this is a 2-bedroom. So it's a 2-bedroom for 300,000. I think we can do this one. So let's see if the Facebook here has anything that we need to know. And we're selling the property to fund a different short-term rental. Okay, so they're giving you the reason that they're selling it. Reviews from all the renters. And they actually have the Airbnb listing itself, which could be helpful. Looks like the exact same photos, which is brutal. Let's see if we can find out how much that actually made. And so last year's gross income was 22,000. Okay, so they actually gave you the income amount in here. Now, this is interesting because the listing, no offense to Carly, but this is a terrible, terrible, terrible Airbnb listing. The photos are really bad. I can see that they tried with the design. It's not the worst listing I've ever seen. I take that back. It's not terrible, terrible, terrible. It's decent. It's decent. It makes sense, but it's not great or good by any means. This is not appealing to really anybody. So there's potential to make more than 22,000, right? So with that being said, what else are they giving away here? Being sold furnished minus a few potential items. No major furniture or appliances. Okay, so it sounds like they're taking decorations mostly, not the major furniture and appliances, though they're not taking those things from the way I'm understanding it. Now, with that being said, you would probably want to get rid of most of the furniture that they had in here and actually bring some style and life to this property. Again, I apologize, Carly. But that's the reality of this. If you want to make more money with this property, what you would have to do. So we have the data for this. Let's grab it. Let's see if there's anything else we can learn about this property. Again, I have no idea about this area. It's completely unknown to me. So all right, let's stop bouncing around. I apologize for that. Let's get into the data. We can see all these different listings here with the secluded. So the secluded cabin, that seems to be her cabin there, I think. Let's see. Yeah, so we were only off by about $2,000-ish. So that's good to see. So there is potential to make more. Let's see if that is a reality. Okay, so let's open up all these ones and take a quick look. Let me close that one there. All right, so we're good with that. Okay, first one that I'm going to see right off the bat, I'm realizing I didn't analyze the look of this property enough. This is not really a cabin, but it's decently a cabin. You've got a lot of land around here that I don't know too much about what you could do with it. You'd have to get a good feel for it. The dining table's right in the kitchen. That's one of my pet peeves. It is what it is, but I just feel like it makes the kitchen very crowded. It does not feel like a cabin in here whatsoever. The wood on the wall helps, but it's not like a cabin like the one that I just looked at, which is good to know. We have a living room and a kitchen with the dining room in the kitchen, a decent little space out here, but not too much space. There is this nice little setup. We're on a stream. That's pretty cool. Barely could even see that. And then we have some more seating over here. The stream seems to open up, so that's a nice little advantage. And space for a fire pit. There's a lot that you can do out here for sure. But the property itself is not very large and there's not much going on. Okay, so when we look at this first property, I can already tell right off the bat that that's a much nicer cabin than what we're going to be working with. And so I know that we're not going to be able to make that amount. This deck here alone is significantly larger. The property itself is a lot larger. Even they have a back deck out here that's significantly nicer. They've got a hot tub, which is interesting. I wonder if hot tubs can help drive revenue. And then the property inside is much larger. So let's move on. It's no need to continue to analyze something that we know we can't do as well as. And then this one is kind of cool. So like these guys are over the river. They built a deck out over the river. I wonder if that would be something that could help drive revenue. They have a very similar sort of setup here. Let's see. So they have a very, very similar setup. For some reason, that's not opening. And then inside, they have a larger cabin-ish feeling place. So that's going to give us that. We can't compete with that. This home here is getting a little bit closer to being comparable, just simply because this living room kind of is around the same size as ours, but you can see it's got more character with this whatever fireplace and the wood on the ceilings. All these things are definitely better than us with the way they were looking. It seems like they might have a dining room as well, which obviously matters and helps drive revenue. The bathrooms are a lot nicer. We can't compete with that. So let's keep moving on. Again, this one is a little bit closer, but we're getting more character from this one with the wood and the wood on the ceilings. It feels like it's the same size. That's one of the main things I'm looking for. I can also see it's ran by a management company, and I really don't like management company data unless they're a really small management company. So the data actually does look good here. So this cabin could potentially be real, but again, it's going to be more cabiny than ours. So I don't want to run with that one. That link didn't open up. This listing here, again, we've got this living room, which is a lot larger and nicer, but the listing itself, the photos are not that great. And I can see that instantly, right? They've got a lot of photos of random stuff going on here. It seems like this is a common photo. I wonder if that's just because, it's because of Joni here. She seems to put that in all of her listings. And then we have this one, which is, again, another cabinish feeling place. So this is also by Joni, isn't it? All right. So Joni owns this market, apparently. I kind of want to get away from Joni's data because I don't feel confident with that. This obviously has a really nice view, so we're not going to be able to compete with that. This one here is interesting. So what I see right now is these look cool, but they're very uncomfortable. Just letting you know that for anyone who's listening. This has a nicer deck and it has a view. So we're not going to be able to do anything about that. The next one, again, this one's more secluded. It's got a bit of a cabin feel to it. Please be small on the inside and don't be too cabiny. It's got the stream. It's got, a decent little fire pit set up over there. The kitchen is super dated and the dining table seems to be in the kitchen potentially. Feels a little bit larger. This is a comparable property as long as the data is actually accurate and it's by the stream. That kind of looks like a dog's pooping. Anyways, so the data seems to be good. We got definitely a bunch of summer bookings, which is great. It kind of goes to the winter fairly quickly there, but this is a comparable property. We got Pine Ridge, Pine Ridge is doing, let's go Pine Ridge. Where can we find that? Pine Ridge is doing 26,000. Shoot. All right. So let's hypothetically say that we do end up going forward with this property. It is 299,000. So let's go 299. I think it was 9 as well. And then you're going to have to put some money in there to get that sort of turned around and better. So let's say you're putting like, let's just go 30,000. You're not putting too much money into the property itself, just furniture, outdoor stuff, maybe a hot tub. Let's say you're putting 40,000. Maybe you're doing a little bit more there than maybe what you need to. Your repairs, your internet's still gonna be the same. Water's probably gonna be the same. Electricity, the pet, you're gonna have some outdoor landscaping. That's all staying the same. Maybe the cleaning will stay the same. Not 100% sure. Let's see if we can figure out the property taxes if we were to do this. And we are seeing, super cheap. Okay, so that helps a little bit, but not a ton. Let's do 60? I think it's close enough. And then insurance, let's just drop that down because the last one as well was there. And then the revenue on it will be, let's say, best case scenario, 30,000. The only reason I'm putting 30,000 is just because I know it's not going to work out in the first place. So negative 18,000. 2 back-to-back homes I would not move forward with. I really don't need to go any further into this one. This is another property I probably wouldn't move forward with. I really just needed to see these 2 numbers here and know I wouldn't move forward with it. I have a 20% price to rent ratio, so I want the purchase price to be 20% of the revenue. So, I want the revenue to be 20% of the purchase price, and that's usually the best case scenario. But just kind of going through here one by one to take a look at these properties and, show you how it would go through the process. I didn't want to, give away too much just too quick. So Sarasota, Florida is an interesting place for sure. Off market, turnkey. I'm intrigued by this one. It's already an active Airbnb, and we're at 26 minutes right now. So this will be my last one. I'll rip through it and hopefully you guys enjoy this. But let's close all this up and get into that next property. Again, just want to mention that this software is not officially ready to go, but it will be released shortly. So keep an eye out for that. Again, there's probably some sort of link down below, either to join a Facebook group or to get access to the actual property or to the Profit Map software. If you want to see the demo, reach out to me. Anyways, let's keep going. So off-market turnkey Airbnb starting at 600,000. If you Google that, it's just north of the airport. We have the listing, so I don't know why they're telling us that. In the last 3 years, we replaced all these different things. Everything is basically new. Okay. The property is successful short-term rental, no HOA, community restrictions addressed. Okay. Airbnb listing is right there. And then since I know people will ask, the reason I'm selling because it was our personal residence for 2 years. At this time, we're able to sell basically tax-free under Section 121. If you're seriously interested, all right. So we've got a 4-bedroom, 2-bath in Sarasota. I know Sarasota-ish. I somewhat know it. Let's get it. Sarasota. Fun little story is that I actually thought Sarasota, Florida was going to be where I started my Airbnb business. I packed up everything I owned, drove down there from Canada, and found out very shortly that most Airbnbs are not legal within that area. It seems like they pointed that out already, saying that it's in a different county. There's no restrictions. So there's a good part of Sarasota and Siesta Key that is not legal. And so I drove all the way down there. Didn't know that when I was first getting started, obviously. And then I got screwed over. And so I went to the next town and the next town and the next town and tried to make it work in all these different places. Spent a month going to 7 different cities in in Florida, and eventually took off and went up to Chicago and made it work in Chicago. So anyways, the revenue, the zip code is 43. So it ends in 43. And it's a 4-bedroom, it says a 3-bedroom here, but over here it says a 4-bedroom. So I'm going to use 4-bedroom data. And we're in Siesta. We're looking for the one that ends in 43, which is going to be this one here. And we're looking for 4 bedrooms. We got a lot of data. That's awesome. Love to see that. And now let's take a look at the property and get a better feel for it. So first thing I can see is that it's got a living room, a dining room, a kitchen right in the middle, and a lot of wasted space. So gotta love that. Great build. Anyways, let's keep going. Nothing too interesting here. The back, the front. Okay, so we got the back here, which is pretty nice. So they've got a good setup, great covered patio, nice hanging lights. They got a ping pong table out here. It sounds, I don't know how much do they say that they're going to be giving Everything is basically new, can be purchased fully furnished. So that's going to cost a little bit more naturally. And then if we keep going, we can see they don't have a pool. Yeah, they don't have a pool. So I had a feeling that this property was not going to have a pool. Sorry, I just chomped down on my own tooth there. Anyways, so okay, pretty straightforward property. I mean, it only has one living room. There's not like any room for a game room unless we put it into the garage. That's one advantage I could see here. Seems like this is another bedroom. That might be the fourth bedroom that they're referring to. Yeah, it is. So you can see that they have a pull-out bed there, but it's actually just has a curtain. So really is a 3-bedroom, not a 4-bedroom, but is what it is. So we can look at the 3-bedroom data as well if we want to. What I want to get a look at is where that actual zip code is. I'm using AirDNA, and I really shouldn't be. I'm just so used to it. So let's go view map over here and go take a look at that zip code. Let's find 434343. There we go. We can see that it's located up here. If I were to take, let's reset this for a second. So what I'm seeing is this is where all the listings are. This is Siesta Key, which is the beach that everyone's going to. And it looks like that zip code it seems like that's the downtown. And then obviously that's all suburb. And then we have the beach right here. So like I said, I somewhat know Sarasota, but not well. So we're North Sarasota. Okay. Or North downtown. And so we're essentially the furthest we could be away from the actual beach. And it doesn't look like the next one is going to be Bradenton. And it looks like they're both going to be pretty far from each other. And then maybe this one here would be closer, but really Siesta Key is the beach to go to. So I don't know if that's going to make a difference, but no pool and that far away. That's not ideal. So first thing I'm going to do is actually just add in a filter here because I'm not going to even review any properties that have a pool. And so let's go text contains. Text does not contain. So text does not contain the word pool. Okay. And we only have 2. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, it does make sense because why would you have an Airbnb without a pool? Brutal, but it's okay. So let's go open up all these links. I'm just going to manually check. I know that I technically don't need to. So that one has a pool. That one has a pool. Pool. That one has a pool. Looks like the software wasn't lying to me. No links. Dead links. Pool. Let's see what else we got here. This is and it has a pool. Brutal listing though. Pool. Oh man, pool. Listing didn't open and pool. All right, so that is tough. Let's try the 3-bedroom, see if we can find some data that doesn't have a pool, just so we can. I know that maybe I can pull some data from these homes that have pools, like maybe I can make sense of it, but it's so difficult when places have pools and other places don't. It's 2 different worlds, right? So let's try again, open up these links. We're looking at the 3 bedrooms now. We can even look at the 5 bedrooms if we need to. So that one has a pool, that one has a pool, that one has a pool. Sorry for saying the word pool so many times. I think you can see it. I don't need to say it every time. Okay, look at this. We have one that, has a pool. All right. I didn't notice that at first. And it's got a pool. And here we go. Come on. No pool. Come on. All right. No pool. So not a very good listing, but it has a community pool. That's tough. Your tropical paradise. So this is obviously not a good listing, just by the way that it's extremely plain, the way it's put together, the way the photos are super dark, very clearly taken with an iPhone. The title itself is not all that great. Sorry, Anna, I apologize for being mean, but it's just reality. And they are making your own. Okay, so let's go see your own. They're at 58,000. Wow, that's more than I was expecting, if I'm being honest. So, and here's another one that is also a bad listing that has no pool as well. So the issue with having no pool and trying to use data that does have pools is that fact that a pool kind of trumps everything. And so, if you were to be looking at, let's say, this listing right now, if you saw this listing and then you saw a bad listing that had a pool, you would probably take the bad listing with a pool just because you have access to a pool, right? It's not 100% accurate in that way because, you may look at this and be like, wow, that's really really poor put together. Yes, it does have a pool, but it looks like a poorly designed place and you're kind of worried about it. And so maybe you're like, hey, do we really need a pool? Let's pay for this one, right? Because this is going to be for people who are in a certain price range where they can't afford to be spending the money on a home like this one or even this one because it's really well put together and has a pool, right? So you're kind of in this lower, income amount. Now, what I can see is that we would definitely be better than this one as long as you took good photos and put, which they did. And they're not giving away their actual annual revenue for some reason. But my estimate would be that they would be above this 58,000 and potentially in the 70s. I can't see them being in the 80s. That would just seem a little weird. So let's take a look at this listing here as an example that is doing 80, supposedly. It's a pretty bad listing as well. It's a good size though. It's got multiple dining rooms. It's super dated, but it's not terrible by any means. So, all right. So this one's doesn't have any June or July, but it seems to have a lot of other reviews. Maybe not all that accurate though. After quickly seeing that, it's probably not doing better than this one. Just at a quick glance, seeing that it's well put together, it's clean, it's bigger. So it's definitely not doing better than that one. This one. This one's the Tropical Oasis. So what I'm doing here is I'm looking what I refer to as a top comp, so a comp that we cannot beat. And I can see this again. This one is pretty decent, and even take a look at this one here. This one's actually pretty decent as well. Not good by any means, but it's clean. So there's people will book a clean listing. That's for sure. If they have good reviews and have all the amenities, they'll book a clean listing. And this one is clean. So with that being said, we can't make 80,000 because these guys both have pools. Now we know we'd make more than 58,000, and in my opinion, we would just kind of end up in the middle. So let's say we do 70. That's not a great estimate, but then again, we're running at 36 minutes right now, and probably everybody has hopped off this call by now or hopped off this video. So let's take a look at one more time. 59, 1, 2, 3. Just so everybody knows this is not going to work out, but it is what it is. So 59,000. Let's say you're purchasing the furniture, so you're going to pay a little bit more probably. Let's put it up to, let's say you get a discount, you get all for 600,000. Then you're going to put maybe like $20,000 into it because everything is brand new, but just in case, you don't really know. So let's just put that in there. Again, interest rate is going to be 7.5. Now your expenses are going to be higher because you have a pool for one, so your electricity is going to be higher. Hopefully if they have a pool heater. If they don't have, they don't have a pool. All right, let's go back to 350. Your water is probably going to stay the exact same. I don't know if they have natural gas. Your repairs and maintenance, we can leave the same as well. Internet, the same. I know I probably shouldn't have the electricity for a 2-bedroom on one side of the country and a 4-bedroom on the other side of the country to be the exact same. I realize that. I'm just trying to do quick analysis here for you guys. No pool maintenance, lawn maintenance, technology. Cleaning should be more. Let's put it up to, I don't know where to go here, but let's assume 250 just because it's, Florida, and there's a lot of clean companies in there. They can all raise their prices. So the property taxes on this is going to be, let's get it here, 4,000. Hopefully it's not in a flood zone because then this really doesn't make any sense, but 4,000. So we got to get the taxes up to 4,000. We do that by putting in like 380. That's close enough, right? Let's go like, I can't remember. What was the exact amount? 4,160. So let's go 350. I apologize, guys. I don't need to sit through that. Insurance is definitely going to be more. I'm going to put it up to 3,000. It's probably more than that, but I'm just going to leave it at that. And we're going to leave that CapEx at 1%. And the property has the potential to make 70,000. Definitely not more. And it's going to lose about $18,000 a year. So with that being said, we just went through 3 different properties that were available in the STR homes for sale, and we found out that all 3 of them would lose you money if you bought them. So if you're looking for a place that's going to lose you money, we've got 3 beautiful options for you. And if you're interested in it, move forward with them. But and I don't know if there's a creative way that you can get those properties. Maybe you can sub to their deals and take over their interest rates or something along those lines to be able to get the property at a better deal. To be able to help you cash flow. But from what we're seeing with the data, it doesn't look like those properties are going to be good buying opportunities. And I could continue to do this for hours and hours and hours. This is literally what I love more than anything. And so, So anyways, I just want to say one last thing. I appreciate you for staying on and watching this video all the way through. I genuinely do. I know that, if you're sitting here right now listening to me say these words, you likely are somebody who's trying your hardest to be able to figure out how to get a good investment. And I don't know what the word is for this, but good for you, right? Good for you for actually going out there and putting in the hours and the time. We're hitting 40 minutes right now of just going through all this. You've got to hear how I think, how I analyze. This is all I do. And I honestly believe that all you really need is to understand the data, to be able to get your first Airbnb property. Obviously, you need it to get your second, third, fourth, and fifth. But when people are getting started, I feel like they put too much focus on to how am I going to manage this property? How am I going to get it cleaned? All this different stuff. When in reality, all you should really be doing is focusing in on how to analyze that data to be able to ensure that you're not buying one of those properties that I just went through and losing money, because that's the issue. And that's what I'm trying to accomplish here, is to ensure that nobody buys an unprofitable property again, okay? An unprofitable short-term rental again. And so I appreciate you if you did stay on and you're hearing this and you're watching this. I have not released my software yet, and this is for anybody who watches this within the time frame of my software, the Profit Maps, not being released. Okay, if it is released, this does not count. Okay, because this video is going to be on for a while. But if it is released, if it isn't released, please reach out to me, email me, DM me, whatever you want to do to be able to see a demo of the actual software. Obviously, you just got to see a whole bunch of it and how it works. We have had we've had 1,850 reports made in 30 days across 80 different people, which would work out to $925,000 if we were charging our old prices, and we saved everybody 91% of that, so that they could actually be able to use this software to be able to find the most profitable locations for them. And so again, if this has not been released, reach out to me through DMs or email. The email is in my YouTube channel. If you go to my YouTube channel, go to my About page, you'll be able to find it there. And if you go to the About page, you can find it right there. You can also just go to my Instagram, give me a follow, and watch me there as well. Sorry, DM me there, and I will definitely send you the link and get you going. But again, discounted rate for the first mount. It's still a pricey amount, so it's not cheap by any means, but it's not crazy expensive either. It's actually significantly cheaper than every single other competitor out there right now, and I honestly think it's significantly better. All right, done with the sales pitch. I apologize, but I hope you enjoyed all this and you learned something from this. And I'm going to try to continue to put out these videos as much as I possibly can. If there is anything that you find interesting that you want to see, comment down below, and I'll try and make a video about it. For now, see you in the next one.